Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Noor and thank you so much for joining me in another video. So I have a tag video for you guys today. This tag has been tagged by Hana from Storynet. It is called the Freedom to Read tag, and I believe it is a week-long Freedom to Read campaign in Canada, if I am not wrong, and it is from 21st to 27th February. But I think by the time I upload this, it will be either on the 27th or after the 27th. So again, I am always late to the party. But nevertheless, it's a very informative, interesting tag, and Freedom to Read doesn't happen only a week, it happens every single day. I think we should commemorate the freedom to read every single day. So thank you Hana from Storynet for tagging me in this tag. It's really informative, so if you want to check out her tag video, it is an original tag done by her, so I will link her video and her channel down below so you guys can check that out and also subscribe to her channel at the same time. So let's get on to the tag video. So the first question is, as a child, were you ever explicitly not allowed to read a book by your parents or guardian, and which book was it? So when I was a child, quite frankly, I don't read a lot of books. However, when I do read books, my parents weren't against me reading any sort of book. They provided me with books, a lot on children's books, middle grade books. The books that I were given by my parents to read were actually screened by them to see whether or not it's appropriate for me, whether or not I could understand that book during my age at my context. So they don't allow me to not read books. They gave me books, and I was not a risky child, I would say. I wasn't so open to reading a lot of other books. I read what I was given. Question 2. Has a parent or guardian ever challenged a book you were reading in school? Did the book get withdrawn? Well, my parents don't really bother about knowing what books are there in the libraries. I think they have a lot of confidence in the school library or in the national library on what books are out there for the kids. To be honest, they're not that curious to see what books are out there in the libraries. To say they have lots of confidence in what the library had provided for us. So nope, nothing of that ever happened. Yeah. Question 3. Do you agree with the practice of banning books? Why or why not? Okay, this is a very interesting question. I would say I don't really agree to a certain extent of the practice of banning books, because I think you could have the freedom to read anything. It's a matter of whether or not you understood or understand what you are reading. I think it's more important if there is a certain censorship that is being given to books out there. Definitely adult books are not appropriate for younger children because of the content that they might not comprehend in that book. I would say banning books is not a right thing to do. Of course, a censorship is important for books that are appropriate for certain age groups. But however, if the book starts bashing a certain group of people, whether it is religious, race, or a certain society, and they are outrightly just bashing that certain group in that book, then I think that is not right and it's inappropriate. And especially in Singapore, where we are a multiracial and metropolitan country, we have a lot of race. We have 4 main race groups and many more, and everyone practices different religions. So we can't afford intolerance in our country. So of course, when there is a book that outrightly just bashes one society or one group of people, then that is not right. That will cause intolerance, and that is not good for our country, and it's not respectful at all. So I would not agree of banning books, but unless that book is promoting intolerance, promoting hate, and all the bad things, then it is better if that book is not in sight for people. Okay, question 4. Have you ever read a book that shocked you enough that you thought it should be challenged or banned? Quite honestly, I do not have such experience. We have the freedom to read. I think our reading materials, or the reading materials that are allowed to read in our country, is really diverse. We can read whatever we want. So it's not controversial. It's not. It doesn't feel like I should not read it. So no, I have never read anything that it should be that it shocked me enough to be banned. I think in today's context, everyone's more open-minded, including me. So whatever that I read, even how weird it is, I am open to that. So it doesn't shock me. I don't feel like I should go out there and start banning this book. No. Question 5. Should libraries or schools monitor their books just in case some people find them offensive? I believe libraries and schools should monitor their reading materials, mainly because it should be appropriate to the age group that is in that school. So if it's primary school, you don't want to have an adult book in the premise of that primary school. Even if it's in the library, you do not want to have kids having access to books that are way matured for them. It's important for libraries or national libraries to actually monitor their books. And I think our school libraries or our libraries are quite okay with the freedom of reading materials that we have in our libraries. Although there was one case in my country where a parent complained that a children's book is quite inappropriate because it's a book about these two penguin who has to take care of another penguin, and that two penguin is of the same gender. So there were a lot of buzz going on in that book, and I think because of the community or the public's pressure that the book is being withdrawn from the library. Although I don't find that book inappropriate whatsoever, it doesn't promote anything, but some parents were quite, they were, parents, yeah. So depends. Sometimes libraries do monitor, but if a parent's being unnecessarily unreasonable, then then that's really hard. But our libraries are really good at monitoring their books. I recently found out that 50 Shades of Grey is not available in our libraries. It's so funny, but it's in our bookstores, but it's not in the library. And I think because they do not want kids to go out and reading that and thinking it's also cool in reading 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. Okay, question 6. Have any of your favorite books been challenged or banned? Yes, 2 of my favorite books. So the 2 books are To Kill a Mockingbird and 1984. It is not banned in my country, but it was banned in other countries, and I was actually quite shocked and surprised to find out that it was a banned book, because when I read it, it doesn't sound offensive or like I don't have qualms with it, but I think to a certain society it might, or to a certain country it might. So again, if it promotes intolerance or it promotes something like hate, then they might ban the book. But in Singapore, we're pretty open with the books that are available for us. Just funny how those books are banned. Maybe in that point of time, during that era where things are not politically right, or is there still some instability going on, so yeah, that book might promote certain intolerance towards it. But I think right now everyone's open. It's a new era. Question 7. Have you read a book specifically because it was challenged or banned? Quite honestly, no. I don't go around bothering trying to find what book is banned or what book is being challenged. I read a book because it interests me. Along the way, when I find out about the book being challenged or being banned, I might be taken aback and got very interested, like, oh, okay, that book is being banned. I didn't know that. And it's very interesting to see the reasons behind why it was being banned or why it was being challenged. But I think if you start challenging books, then there might be certain interest from the public to go read it. For example, the 50 Shades of Grey series that is being withdrawn from our libraries. It is not available in the national libraries, I believe. So everybody got curious, so everybody wants to go out there and buy it. And it was very, very interesting how nobody wants to read it in the public. And there are certain people that I know actually covered the book with a wrapping paper, so nobody knows what the book is about. So that is all for the tag video. I hope this tag video gave you some insight on banned books. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tag video, and if you guys want to do it, then feel free. And yep, I will see you guys in my next video. Chill out.